That is one mammoth meatball. And by mammoth, we don't just mean big.
Cities across America force law-abiding citizens into curfew as rioters and looters burn and smash. Protesters watch their cause undermined by violent hangers-on.
But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now going, I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Good morning.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Written. Glenn Beck will have his own chapter as possibly the greatest synthesizer of big ideas ever to appear on camera.
There are dozens of videos and photos of Obama having flies land on him indoors at all times of year, and he'll be next to 100 people and no one has flies on him.
Does anyone have a question for Santa Claus?
Santa, do you have to wear a mask?
When I'm in my workshop with all my elves, we all are masked up and social distancing.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
Sunday. This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
My humps, my lovely lady humps. Welcome to Hump Day Wednesday, baby. Better to stop. Last call of the day. This is a banger of a show today. Why? Because we're live in the studio with my boy, Deadleg Media, the research extraordinaire. He's in studio from from Colorado. Colorado.
South Colorado's fine.
Could be South Colorado, whatever it is. I don't even know what part of Colorado you're from, to be honest with you.
No, I'm up from range, northern Colorado.
Yeah, get right up in that mic, homie.
Yeah.
Joe, we've got the Failure Stop meetup coming in. We've got tons of fans out there watching on the whole YouTubes right now. People are coming in today. Drew Breezy will be here pretty soon. But we decided because like a lot of the paid members and stuff are already here, and we feel bad that there's people that aren't here, we thought we'd make today's show public, which is usually private. It's usually for just the paid members. If you want to be a paid YouTube member, you could do so. Just do that. If you're a listener, you're not a YouTube guy, we now have a Patreon that is live with tons of extra content, interviews. Drew Breezy just put an interview up there with a guy that was at the Vegas shooting. He was an officer during the Vegas shooting. We've got lots of different guests on that on the Patreon. But of course, on the regular Fair to Stop channel, we still bring in you now 5 shows a week, starting off every Monday with Uncuffed with Jay Durrell, little cop comedy meets live PD every Monday. Monday night at 7:30 live on the YouTubes. Night Shift, True Crime Tuesday with Andrea. We got Last Call on Hump Day Wednesday that goes out on Thursday, which is bringing you all the other news that you need to know so that you don't sound like an asshole first responder to your civilian friends. Gives you something else to talk about other than dead babies and domestic violence. Of course, we have Thursday's Com Center with Drew Breezy and Jonathan Bates with all the dispatch stuff. And then we have our breakdown, our Fair to Stop flagship show, which is our breakdown. Today's show is brought to you by David J. No, I'm just kidding. Although David J does bring us the hottest super chats. And I think he's a paid member everywhere. It's incredible. Zach M's a new member. Welcome. Welcome to the Wolfpack, brother. But no, today's show seriously is brought to you by ghostbed.com/Wolfpack. Sleep so good that it's scary. It's why I'm always so happy every single day of my life. It's because I sleep on a ghost bed. Man, if you're not too far from Raleigh, North Carolina, and you want to come to the meetup, it's at Instill Distilling Company. Starts tonight at 5:00 p.m. Goes all the way till 8. And then from 8 to 10, it's a One More and I'm Out of Here podcast, Failure to Stop podcast, Q&A at the studio with free food and some free drinks. So come on out, get your ass down here. Everybody's staying in the same hotel. For the most part, everybody's staying in the hotel. Somebody kind of fucked up and went with the Comfort Inns instead of the Comfort Suites or some bullshit. I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence that he's also the oldest dude here. Little Joe Biden shit setting in there, maybe, possibly. Maybe a little Dahli Lama. I'm just kidding. He rode a motorcycle all the way here, so there's no fucking way Joe Biden's riding a motorcycle from Cincinnati, Ohio, all the way to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Unless we got some training wheels on it.
Yeah, you have to have some training wheels for sure. We got a lot of news, and then we're going to bring in a lot of the fans that are here so you guys can meet them for the first time today's show. Though, first of all, baby, we've got to talk about this. I titled the show this, so I'm going to start it with it. It's tongue-sucking Dalai Lamas. Have you seen the video of the Dalai Lama having a little child suck on his tongue? Have you seen this video yet?
I've not. I was fortunate enough that I got to ride on a plane yesterday. So I didn't get to see this yesterday.
So this didn't happen yesterday, but the apology letter came out yesterday. Here's a little picture of it for the YouTube folks out there. This is a Dalai Lama. Now, this started out with a kiss. It started with a kiss. I think that's a song.
Just a kiss.
Just a kiss. And then how did it end up like this? But it started out with a kiss. And it was actually started out with two foreheads touching. So they touched each other's foreheads. And then once they touched each other's foreheads, he wanted a kiss on the cheek. And then he got the kiss on the cheek. And then he said, suck on my tongue. And so he sticks his tongue out and the little boy sucks on his tongue. It's the most bizarre thing. Now, I saw this before. Now it's all blurred out for the safety of the child. But before this was blurred out, this was all over TikTok. This was a TikTok thing, which is, I think, another reason why they want to get rid of TikTok.
Yep. Oh, that, and they can't control it.
That's what I'm saying. They can't control it because this news got out. I don't think this would have been news today. There would not have been an apology issued had it not went super ultra viral on TikTok.
No, because the only people that would have seen it would be the ones that are there, or the ones that are sucking the tongue, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so lots of shit went down on the social media webs. Oh, damn, Zach M, dude. He says, Zach M dropped us a super chat, $20. He says, am I doing this right? No, Zach, you have to come in here and suck on my tongue, bitch. Come on, dude. Come on in here and suck on the Dolly Tansy's tongue. Just all, let's put your mouth right on there and suck me till you love me, Zach. No, we thank you for that. Will Cray, $2. Thank you. Thank you, Will Cray. We appreciate you, brother, for dropping us in the super chats. But yes, so let me get into this article really quick about the Dalai Lama. So this is by the way, I like how he releases his apology statement.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Of all places. That's where you go to say, my bad. My bad for sucking on a kid's tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. On Twitter.
Yeah.
But he's got a blue check mark, so good for him. A video clip has been released circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. I have a problem with calling yourself Holiness.
Yeah. You don't put yourself on a pedestal. If other people put you on a pedestal.
Not when you're worth $150 million, you don't.
No. You're there. You don't need to call yourself.
He's worth $150 million, dude. He's a Nobel Peace Prize winner, too. So he kind of do what he wants.
You think you have a better publicist. Just saying.
Right? Would give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. Dalai Lama, brother, it's not your words. It's not your words. Nobody gives a shit about your words. We want an apology for allowing a child to suck on your tongue and on a national stage. You pedophile fuck.
Of all places, that you don't have kids with that. You don't that's the church. That's you just got to keep it separate. You don't suck on a kid's tongue, right?
But I can't think of a single time that it's appropriate to suck on have a kid suck on your tongue. I can't think of. I seriously, you can't name it. The funny thing is, though, is there's literally only one side of humans that are even trying to argue this. Now, there is arguments of this. I have seen that. Oh, that's on us for not. That's the West not understanding Tibet culture. Now, I looked up Tibet culture about tongue sucking. It's not in there. So it's not in there. There's no Tibetan sign of any kind of like religious value in tongue sucking.
You don't
from
have,
children to male adults.
Like there are cultures where like marrying young kids, that is very, very much a part of the culture, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the world says, yeah, we're cool with that.
Yeah.
You can be not all right with marrying kids. They're young. You can be all right with not sucking a kid's tongue.
Just because we're stoning women in Afghanistan to death for not doing their laundry. Does that mean we could do that here in the United States? You know what I mean?
Or all the gay, if you're gay, you get killed. They'll throw you off a building.
I mean, they'll just do gay shit with you in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is probably the gayest country I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
There's so much gay shit going on in that fucking country. It's ridiculous. Lots of male on male hand holding, lots of male fucking goats. They have their own little bacha boos, little boys, the little bacha boozies or something like that. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras. He regrets the incident. This is his tweet. Now, the office of the Dalai Lama said the spiritual leader regretted his actions. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. A statement posted on the 87-year-old Buddhist monk's Twitter account. By the way, Buddhists are supposed to take pride in living very minusculely. This guy's got 150 mil, baby. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way. I don't know, dude. I tease people in an innocent. I may have already grabbed Will Cray inappropriately at some point. Since he's been here, maybe TJR, maybe I've made a pass at him or two, unwanted. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we're here.
You're here. You flew in. I feel like you deserve it.
And we're consensual adults.
I feel like you're consensual. It doesn't matter. I think you're consenting at the point that you fly all the way here from Minnesota.
Well, someone had me sign a consent form before I came in, so I don't know who someone I'm signing. Something.
It was an NDA and a consent form.
Yeah.
Because now, and you have to call me Your Holiness for the rest of the time. Everybody here has to call me Your Holiness, by the way, and you'll all have to suck on my tongue. Except Rob. I'm not sure I want him sucking on my tongue.
Well, you get you'll get some ticklish from his dick broom.
Dude, this is crazy, man. The incident is not the first time the Dalai Lama has been lambasted for comments in public. Again, this is the way the media confuses you. Nobody gives a fuck about his comments. Nobody gives a fuck about him saying "suck my tongue." What you have a problem with is the child sucking your tongue, Mr. Lama.
And he, in the tweet, he said he regrets that it was on, no, you don't regret that. You don't regret it, or you regret it was on film, because there's two different things. Because I can regret that I did something bad and feel bad about it, and I can regret that I did something bad and it's on camera. For sure, there's accountability for it. There's two different kind of guilts there. Are you mad that you got caught, or are you mad that you got caught on camera? Like that. Yeah, don't mess with kids.
In 2019. The spiritual leader apologized after suggesting a female Dalai Lama should be attractive. I'm for that. I want my Dalai Lama chicks to be smoke shows.
Well, you're advertising.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, at the end of the day, sex sells, which is not sex with kids.
Right. I want my Dalai Lama Dalai Lama et. I want her to be of age, but I want her to be a real fox. You know what I'm saying?
I make you want to go to church, though.
And then she could suck my tongue.
It's a nice eye candy.
While calling me Holiness.
Might well.
In 2018, the LA reported that he was criticized for suggesting Europe should be for Europeans only. Ooh, imagine if I said that.
America's for Americans only.
Well, that's true. I do believe that.
Well, now we have the open borders now.
Oh man, yeah, but I want America to be for only America. If you're not American, get the fuck out.
Well, I mean, just as long as you're on the same team, we have to have the same team values, and we want to win. But right now, we're on a losing team right now.
I know, dude. I fought in two. Look, I fought in a losing war.
I was in the other one.
Yeah, you were in the other one. So I mean,
my bad. Sorry, guys.
Fucking losers, bro. Don't even deserve. That's why I don't get my free Applebee's on Veterans Day, because I don't feel like I feel like that should be only for. I mean, because technically we've lost 3 wars. You know, Vietnam, not so hot. So basically, Applebee's should just be for your Gulf War vets and maybe your World War II vets if they're still around.
The few that are still around.
Yeah, feel they're still around. Next up, though, real quick before we jump over to our live group here, Biden gets down and dirty with the EPA, vowing 67% of vehicles in 2032 will be electric. It's electric. Boogie, 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 boogie. 2032. Now, I have a problem with the electric vehicles. One, I haven't done enough research into it, but I hear that you cannot make them without child slaves.
It's in the bylaws. It was in the trademark. It's like line 42. That's
right.
What it said. You have to use child slaves.
Right. No, but seriously though, right? Like, isn't like all the lithium and all that stuff? Isn't it like
the way that they mine all that stuff in the other countries? It's strip mining. I mean, and then in those other countries, if you watch the video, it's depressing to watch,
right?
Because you're gonna have women carrying their children mining stuff by hand to get enough to eat for the end of the day.
It's like when I sent Will Cray and Davy J to go get coffee. It was sad. It was just sad. There was a lot of handicap going down the sidewalk to get me coffee. And then they're coming back. One of them doesn't have a good arm or a good leg or 2 good legs. The other one's got like a fake foot, fake leg thing going on. And it was sad, dude. It was depressing. I felt like one of those strip mine managers sending them to get me coffee. But yeah, I mean, so the bigger problem, I don't care about slaves, right? Like I want my diamonds. I want my blood diamonds to be blood diamonds. I want a real authentic blood diamond. I don't want these like, I don't want those diamonds that are what kind of diamonds do they call them now? Like
the
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want the corrupt diamonds.
That's how you add value to them. I mean, the one of the rarities of why diamonds
I want blood on the diamond.
Is one,
I want to see the blood.
They're just rare, but two, they're hard to get. You have to pay those little kids to get down there and get rid of their fingernails and go to town at it.
Yeah. So I'm not really concerned about the lithium batteries being mined by slaves part, but what I am bothered about is where are we going to get electricity for all these vehicles? I mean, California can't even keep up with the electricity for what they got. And then if shit hits the fan, they can just deny us electricity for the vehicles, and then we can't even travel. And then, I mean, we've already seen this happening with the banks in Canada, where the truckers were, where they were denying truckers their rights to have money from ATMs or whatever.
In Denver, they had, was it last year before last? It was really, we had a hot stretch, and there were some customers that opted into this program. So it was in there, so you knew what you were getting, but you sign that shit all the time. You don't know what you're getting. And you couldn't turn your thermostat because they were under power use restrictions. So during the hottest part of the day, you couldn't keep your house cool. So if you take that and apply that now to cart, now you can't go get groceries.
Right.
Or your social credit. We don't like what you said be posted on Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and you can't go to the store today. You can't take your kids to the skate park.
Yeah. I just don't like the whole thing. Now they want the pickup trucks. Now I heard Harley Davidson. I haven't confirmed this yet, but I heard that Harley Davidson is going full electric. I thought you bought a Harley Davidson because you wanted that throaty fucking growl, dude. You want to sound like a lion going down the highway. Now you're gonna sound like a little pussy.
I don't know what Tesla and Ford are doing, or Tesla and like Porsche and other companies are doing, but Ford themselves, they're having problems with the lightning up in northern climates because it's too cold. So when you get cold, the battery's range with its capacity is less than what it is. So you think you have all this range and you get halfway there, like, oh, no, I'm not going to be able to get there and I can't get back now. So then you're stuck. Gosh. There was a YouTuber that had that did a towing test.
So now here's the other thing, right? Yeah, the towing test.
Yeah, he just I was watching last night. He sold his because the range because it's too cold.
Yeah. So Stanley Meyer, is that a name you're familiar with at all? Stanley Meyer? He invented a vehicle that could run on water. This is a real story, not a conspiracy theory. This isn't Night Shift with Andrea up late. But it was a water fuel cell. It split water into component elements, hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen gas was then burned to generate energy, blah, blah, blah. It was a big process, and he made a car, and he was fucking murdered for it. Stanley Meyer's invention was later termed fraudulent after two investors to whom he had sold the dealership, offering the right to do business in the water fuel cell technology, sued him in 1996. His car was due to be examined by the expert witness. There's like a whole thing on this. And then that history, that science kind of went away after he was, I guess... He died suddenly in 1998 while dining at a restaurant. He was meeting with two Belgian investors, and then he ran outside saying, "I've been poisoned," and then he fucking died from an aneurysm.
Well, that's what they said. It was an aneurysm,
right? But I mean, poison can cause an aneurysm. I'm pretty sure, right?
But stranger things, you can have a fake body and present a fake body, and a fake body can go through the ME's office. This is
real. I'm reading this right now from Wikipedia right now, that he was sitting down with some Belgian investors, ran outside saying that he was poisoned, and then he dropped dead. Very crazy. Then there was another guy. This is another true story. This is a guy named Tom Ogle. He was goofing around with a lawnmower motor, and he had a busted carburetor. And so he connected like some kind of hoses to the carburetor, trying to save it to mow his lawn. And he ended up being able to like mow his whole yard several times over without wasting any gas. So he applied this to his car. And this was 31 years ago today. El Paso inventor Tom Ogle gained national attention when he drove a Times reporter from the Times from El Paso to Deming and back on just 2 gallons of gas. Ogle's invention never took off. If you Google his name, you will find many theories as to why it didn't. Here's the article from May 1st, 1977, an article that ran Nogle's death in 1981. By the way, he died from a heart attack at the age of 26. And that was it.
So when we go back and we look at the vax stuff, all the people that are dying from heart attacks now, we can go back and say, look, there was one person at least that died young.
So you've had two people that have proven that you can create a vehicle that can run using less gas, less, carcinogens or whatever it is, like all the stuff that makes the EPA happy, without using lithium, without having to have slaves. But we've off those people.
Because it can't be monetized. That's why.
Right.
No one's going to make money, and it's going to take money out of the people that are making money currently.
Exactly. That's the problem I have with this whole thing. And, this whole New World Order thing that we've all just been laughing and joking about. If you think about it, dude, all the conspiracy theorists, the people who question the vaccine, weren't anti-vax, the people that question the vaccine, right? The people that question the things that are going on with Epstein's Island, the things that question what's going on with the Dalai Lama having children suck on his tongue, people that have a problem with the pedophilia that's going on in Hollywood. It's been proven to go on in Hollywood. The people who bring up that there are these cults that are in the rich elites, these sex cults that children have come out and talk about. Now, all of those people are the wackadoodles. But if you watch the news, them motherfuckers are believing in aliens, right? They believe that Joe Biden is healthy.
What do they know?
And is doing a great job.
What do they know that we don't know, or where they're smoking that we don't have?
Right. All of a sudden, they're super pro-war. They want World War III tomorrow. So who's the wackadoodle now, man? I'm not sure. A lot of this stuff is extremely backwards. One more segment here before we dive into all these live people that are just dying to get in here, get their time on the camera with me, and I'm dying to meet them. This is, a feel-good story, but not really. It's feel-good for the shark.
If you're hungry.
It's a feel-good story if you're a shark.
Little snack.
Hawaiian surfer, 58 years old, loses his foot in a rare shark attack off of Honolulu. This is a shark with a foot fetish, and he wanted the foot. 58-year-old Hawaiian surfer lost his right foot in a weekend shark attack off the coast of Honolulu. Mike Morita was gliding over the waves near Kawilo Basin about 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday when he was bitten by a shark. Officials said that the predator was believed to be an 8-foot-long tiger shark. They used their boards and their leashes and just tourniquets and then stem the bleeding and possibly save his life. They got him to shore. He lost his foot, but he is alive. And so that's great.
Tiger sharks were the only thing that scared shit out of me when I lived out there.
Yeah, tiger sharks?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When you get to shark side, you just kind of stay out of the water for a couple of days.
I always think the great whites would be what scare you. That's what bit off, what's her name's are?
Those tigers can come way up into the shallow stuff.
Damn.
Because, the great whites are, they can, but they're quite a bit bigger. Those tiger sharks are like dolphins with teeth.
Yeah. I've seen a 15-foot tiger shark.
Like, you think, like, it is a muscle.
Probably about 15 foot.
It's a muscle designed to kill you. Yeah, that's it. It's a muscle with teeth. It's a killing machine.
But you know what? Good for the shark. Got himself a foot. And that's the way we are here in America. You know what I mean? Like humans are never the victim. Right? So is a shark. I actually watched a very disturbing video of something out of Florida. I'll save that for Friday's show, though. Right now, I want to start bringing in some of the folks that have come to see some last call listeners that have been paid members for a long time that are now coming in through the that have flown in here for the meetup. They want to start coming over towards the studio. One by one, I'm going to bring them guys up. I want to ask a couple of questions. I want to get to know the fans. I want to get to know the Wolfpack. I want to let the other Wolfpack see them live and in person. And we've got one hobbling this way. I can see him hobbling right now. It looks like it is Will Cray. He's wearing a night shift shirt. Here he comes. It's going to take him a little bit longer than we thought because he's got a fucked up leg. Come on in, Will Cray. I actually have something for Will Cray. Come on in here, buddy. Come sit down next to Big Daddy. Thank you. Come sit by Your Holiness. Yes, thank you. No, you suck on my tongue. By the way, if you want to get on the show and you're out there watching on the TV and you're here at the studio, when you come in, just address me as Your Holiness and then suck on my tongue when you get inside. Will Cray.
Yes,
hello, dude.
How's it going?
Yes, you're doing great. You're doing
Thank
good.
you.
You flew in from Minnesota.
I did.
Right? What is Minnesota? Is that M-I? M-A?
M-N.
M-N. Fuck,
yes.
I was way off. Now, you met me for the first time.
Yep.
This week. Dumber than in real life than you thought, or
Actually about the same.
about
I
the same?
figured.
Really, everything you expected me to be.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I thought honestly people were gonna be like, God, I thought he was just pretending to be that dumb. This guy's really fucking stupid. I picked them up and we could not find parking for hours.
No.
And we got stuck in some weird traffic. I got lost in my own town.
And remember the person with 4 flat tires?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the odds of that? That's a bad day, brother. That's a bad day. So now when you flew in here, you met another man on the Wolfpack on the plane that you did not know before. This is a story you're telling me in the shuttle from the from the airport. How did that go down? How did you guys figure out that you were both coming to North Carolina from Minnesota to a Failure Stop meetup?
So I went and hopped on the plane with my group and went and sat down, totally out of it, sit on my phone. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes walking by. He's like, Will? I was like, yo, what's up? And
that's how it went down.
So then I saw him and I was like, he said, it's TJR. I was like, oh shit. Hey, what's up?
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, I was.
Did you guys howl at all? Did you guys, you know,
yeah.
You did like right across the plane?
I plead the fifth.
That's so cool, man. How do you like North Carolina?
Dude, it's nice.
A little bit greener.
It's gray in Minnesota right now.
Yeah. Now they always say the grass is greener, but be careful. This is a growing town, and so the traffic is. You won an Instagram giveaway.
I did.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You didn't win. You really
kind of
win.
figured.
You didn't really win, but you wrote the comment, I never win these things.
I bitched.
But fuck it. And I said, I saw the comment and I said, dude, just make up some kind of a drawing. McDonald's did it. They're still doing fine. Let's make this guy win something in his life. He needs something. So you did technically win by being the biggest loser, the biggest whiner. But here, I wanted to give it to you while you're here. And here you go. This is a skateboard. This is a sponsorship skateboard. It's given to my children in their sponsorship package from Yoka Hair Skateboards. They do a photo shoot with them. This one was used in a brief photo shoot, so it's got a little little scuffiness. It's got another little sponsorship decal on it. And then he'll be here later if you want him to sign it.
Yeah.
But you get to have a Yoka Hair skateboard, a sponsored skateboarder from Duke Tansy and Grummet Vomit podcast.
That is cool.
And you can take that on the plane with you. You slide it in your backpack. You sit your backpack down, and then and they'll allow you to take that on the plane. But that is a real life sponsorship skateboard from a little tiny Grom Ripper. And I like your shirt. You got the night shift shirt. Let me ask you one more question before I let you go. Favorite show on the Fair Stop channel?
Are you at me? Is that sexual or
it was? Yeah.
Oh,
Your Holiness is aroused.
Yes. Sweet.
What's your favorite one?
I'm gonna have to say it's Last Call.
Oh, you like Last Call?
I do. It's great.
Get the fuck out of here. You're lying.
Okay.
Yeah. You like Last Call?
Yeah.
Do you like the new news stuff? Like where we're getting like more political news? I'm not gonna stop doing it because it gets higher numbers.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy doing the fun, weird news.
The fun, weird news is great.
I only can add it in now. When I used to just be fun, weird news heavy on Last Call, the numbers weren't that great. But when I started adding like Dahli Lama's tongue sucking and anything that Biden's doing or anything that Trump's doing, the numbers just go up and up and up and up and up. So you can't fight if that's what the people want. I'm a man of the people. Your Holiness is a man of the people. So, Will Cray, thank you so much for coming up on the show. I can't really shake your fucked up hand.
Drop.
Just fuck that skateboard, dude. It doesn't mean anything to you. Fuck the kids.
Wow.
Suck on my tongue, children. Okay. And no, we're just kidding, man. Hey, thanks, Will Cray. We'll see you tonight. We'll see you tonight. We're gonna bring in TJR. Looks like he's next up in line. I like his shirt. Jonathan Bates would be. It looks like a Jonathan Bates shirt. TJR. TJ, welcome to Last Call, dude.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, dude. Now listen, I got to meet you yesterday. And fascinated by your career choice because I feel like you would be the most popular guy in almost every career field. You are a tech that works on copy machines.
That's correct. Yeah, I do a lot of different stuff with copiers. I've had a different life path. I'll tried a bunch of different things. So
yeah, we got into that. You did some security work, some law enforcement stuff, dabbled, whatever. But really, I'm most impressed by the copier stuff, because I feel like that you must have really strong intestinal fortitude. You're a man that's probably never going to commit suicide ever, because if you can handle the pressures of a printer or a copier, you can handle the pressures of anything.
You know, it's one of those career paths, like unlike cops. Oops, sorry.
You're good.
Unlike cops, where there's a lot of people that don't like them. When a copier technician shows up on site, like everybody like praises them.
That's what I'm saying.
We get cookies, we get whatever, because they just want their copier fixed.
Yeah, like whenever you walk in, all you hear is "Here goes my hero."
Exactly. Yeah.
Watch out, there goes. I did that for Falconator. She loves it when I sing. Do they ever just fucking piss you off though? I can't even look at a copy machine. I couldn't make one copy without just wanting to rage and punch and kick.
You know, because the copier is such a divisive product in general in offices, I don't know how many times you're dealing with office pranks. So I have cleaned peanut butter and jelly off of a copier because someone wanted to make a copy of a peanut butter sandwich.
Okay.
I spent about 3 hours trying to find a paper clip in a machine. Come to find out, someone had copied a paper clip onto the paper. So the paper that was printing had a paper clip
right
pre-printed on the image. And
so
that was a good one.
So you just searched the whole machine
I
for
tore that machine apart, finding a paper clip that did not exist.
Did not exist,
because
dude.
It kept popping up
Oh
on
my
all the copies that came out.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Any butt prints, boob prints?
When you go to a copier that magically the glass is broken or cracked,
That's
the
what
reason
happened.
is someone decided that they needed to.
Right. It's because
picture.
I did that one time. I put my penis down on it, and the weight of my penis cracked the entire copier.
That makes sense.
Broke
yeah.
the wheel, blew the wheels out, blew the glass out, whole 9 yards, because it's real heavy. Your shirt says "Get in, losers, we're leaving." It's got a UFO on it. I like your shirt. Has Jonathan Bates seen your shirt today?
No, not. It actually says "Get in, loser, we're doing butt stuff."
Oh man, that is probably my favorite shirt.
It seemed fitting.
Where
for
did you
this
get
trip.
that shirt?
I think Wish, honestly.
Dude, I wish I had that shirt. Falconator says she sends $1.99 super chats. She says, "Thank you, Eric." You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Let me get David J over to. Hey, thank you so much for flying in, for dealing with all of our shenanigans. We're happy to have you, man.
Absolutely. Thank
Really
you.
happy. Yeah. We got Davey J. Those of you who don't know, you probably heard the name David J. He's raining money.
Geez, I'm sorry. Super chats just fly off of me.
Super chats
Ooh,
just
I'm
fly
sorry.
off. Actually, when he walks around, he looks like one of the Mario characters that has the coin above his head. And he's like ching, ching. He's like the Monopoly man walking around. David J has always showered us with many, many, many blessings. We've got to meet you in real life, in real time. And we really appreciate you having here. I love your Guns Up Kitty Up shirts. You got the OG shirts. Now, David J, are you allowed to tell us what you do for a living, or is that off limits?
No, we can
what do you
talk.
do that you're so
Yeah.
fucking rich?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm rich. I'm just financially stable.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am active duty Navy.
Okay.
You know, working out of San Diego. Right now, I'm part of a training group. Obviously, the patch just for you.
Oh, dude, this is awesome.
So part of that training group is,
This is beautiful.
Certifying and training ships to be ready to go do anti-piracy.
Like anti, don't make a DVD, don't reprint the DVD, anti,
More like
burning CDs.
Anti-smuggling, anti-human trafficking, anti-drugs.
Oh, like real life pirates, like Pirates of the Caribbean shit.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow, fucking shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we hardly ever find rum.
Well, nobody's like really like stockpiling rum. People tend to drink that rather quickly. So you do the training group. You got the Navy background. How long have you been in the Navy?
It'll be 16 in June.
No shit. Yeah. I see you've got a bum leg.
I do.
Did you lose that shit in the war?
No. Unfortunately, it was a trip out in the desert.
Okay.
Took a bad spill, and
ouch.
Things just escalated from there. And
I'm not gonna lie, dude. When I watched you and Will Cray walk off into the sunset to go retrieve me some coffee from the local coffee shop, I for one moment felt guilty watching the limping, the patheticness, and I said, "Damn, that's loyal, dude. That's the loyal wolf pack right there."
Oh,
suck on the tongue of your holiness, and go get me some coffee. It was sad to see, but at the same time, I was proud. It's like a bird letting its chick fly from the nest, but the chick has a broken wing and it falls face first. you're a little bit sad, but you're kind of proud that it took that leap, knowing that it wasn't going to make it.
Sure.
But you guys made it though,
Oh, yeah.
which I was surprised.
Oh yeah, it was a good walk. Got my steps in.
Got your steps in. Does that thing fuck with your iWatch with your steps?
I don't know. I stay away from technology a lot of times, so like
Okay.
I keep a basic Casio watch on me. I try to turn everything off on my phone. Like,
Now, what do you think about? What's your opinions on North Carolina? Quickly.
I enjoy it. I've been down here multiple times through my life. My uncle lives down here in South Carolina. I used to go to Carowinds all the time on the border.
Oh,
you know.
I have not been to Carowinds. I've driven by it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I'm dying to take my kids to Carowinds.
It's a fun park.
Yeah. It looks really cool.
It's all roller coasters.
Yeah, it looks dope. I mean, we drive by it all the time. On Thanksgiving, my son was just like crying, like, please, Dad, can we go to Carowinds? I was like, it's Thanksgiving, too. We're not going to Carowinds. That's in Charlotte. It's not in Charlotte. What's your favorite show on the Favorite Stop podcast channel?
So it started off with Breakdown with you and Mike the Cop,
Right.
because I actually still use breakdown videos that you all do in my training for classroom.
Oh, great.
So I'll actually bring up a breakdown and I'll use that
Yeah.
as judgment-based training, because the Navy doesn't give enough judgment-based training
Right.
for people who do reaction force and stuff like that. So
Right.
I bring that in and I use critical thinking. Like, all right, guys, what did you see? What could be better? And
Right.
have them break down the video for me, and then I break it down, showing like, all right, well, this is the breakdown of what really happened, and it gives them a good perspective.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it means a lot that you guys. But you said it was your favorite. So what's your favorite now?
It's leaning towards Comm Center and Last Call.
Comm Center is super funny.
Oh yeah.
It started out as just like this weird stepchild. Didn't know if I was gonna love it or not. It's just I was forced to have it. You know, I had True Breezy wanted to bring his little stepson John on. Okay, all right, I'll see if I can love it. It started off with Rocky Start. I was like, man, I'm never gonna call that kid my son. Not gonna happen. And now, damn it,
it's good.
Damn it, they're family.
Oh yeah.
I love them. I love that show, and I think it's really funny. And Last Call, that's really interesting, man. It's cool because, you know, Last Call is a brainchild that I just thought it needed because I own a bar, and I just thought that first responders just wouldn't shut the fuck up about first responder shit ever, and I was like, man, we gotta have something else to talk about. And you know, and you try to talk to them about anything going on in pop culture, anything that's going on in the news, and they're like, oh, I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. Well, knowing is half the battle. If you're not watching the news, if you don't know what's going on, how are you supposed to help those people out on the streets? You can't relate to them, right? If you're a hostage negotiator and you're trying to negotiate and you've got literally nothing to relate to the person, but you got a little girl trying to jump off a bridge and you're like, hey, while we're sitting there waiting for, you know, that thing you've requested, those sunglasses you requested, did you see that shit about Lindsay Lohan changing her name to Lohan? What do you think about that? And then you've got a whole conversation piece. So I'm enjoying. It's been fun to watch it grow. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you always for all the super chats. And we're gonna have a great time tonight. We're not even close to being done. Right now, I've got Rob from One More and I'm Out of Here podcast, coming all the way in from Cincinnati, Ohio. So we've gone from Minnesota to San Diego to now Cincinnati, Ohio. There's so much culture. It's like the United Nations over here. Suck the tongue of.
Give me a
Your
couple more
Holiness.
beers and I will get on that thing.
Um,
I'll ride that thing like a Sibian with my lips, baby.
Are you stealing my super chat money?
Oh, I
Like
thought it
right
was
here on
free.
camera, you piece of shit.
I saw these crippled guys coming down the street. They all had wallets. So that's the only reason I popped in this place.
Yeah.
I figured, shit, I'm going to rob these guys. I can't walk or run or call the cops.
Yeah.
You didn't have that at the time.
Well, slow down there, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah. What is this, the Ringers? Holy shit.
Oh, man. Listen, your show is hilarious. One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. You guys are super funny. You drove down here by yourself. You guys are such a tight crew that one of your crew members said, I am not driving fucking 10 hours with that asshole. The other guy was like, fuck that. I'm flying. The other guy said, I can't afford to fly, even though he has probably more money than all of us.
I think Kiefer was the one that said he was coming down. He flew with Jill.
Right.
Carol and I were going to ride down, but apparently innuendo on what was going to happen to him, asking him repeatedly if he was allergic to any chloroform or other pharmacological things. He got a little nervous and rode his motorcycle.
Yeah, he just said, fuck it, I'd rather go 13 hours on a motorcycle.
Yep. He had a free room too. I got double queens, rode his motorcycle, ran out of gas on the way down.
Did he really?
Oh God, that's a great story. Ask him about it.
I'm going to ask him about it here shortly.
Pulled in a rest area, had to jump up in 2 cabs to get enough gas to fill his motorcycle. I don't know what he did in the cabs. He will not admit it at that truck stop.
Oh, that's awesome. And then all of that to come here and get the wrong hotel.
Yeah, wrong
Comfort
hotel.
Inn instead of, or Comfort Suites instead of Comfort Inn or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Carol was awesome. He never never ceases to amaze us.
That is so funny. That's Hamity just Sim out there. Go grab Hamity and tell him I'm in here.
Who?
Hamity just said, "Hey, I'm going to get you on here in a second. You got time?" Yeah. Well, the Terrace Whisperer has just stopped by the studio, so I'm gonna pop him in just a minute. We'll come and get you in 2 seconds. However you feel. You're gonna be we'll talk about it when you get in here.
Oh shit!
That's
if he's getting naked, can I stay in here? And does he have to put a leg brace on to come on the show?
Well, he's been blown up a fuck ton of times. The Terrace Whisperer. I don't know if you ever read his book or seen the documentary on the Amazon. Pretty fascinating stuff. He was actually America's first Iraqi spy. He was imprisoned by Saddam Hussein at the age of 12. Became the youngest command sergeant major of all of Iraq at 19, was blown up, was shot, lost like tons of dudes under his command at like 19 years old. At 28, he was he was like one of the most wanted Muslims in the Arabic world. And so they gave him a freedom pass to the United States. And so he came down here personally as a personal guest of General Petraeus. Actually been in a car with him when General Petraeus FaceTimed us, and I was like,
"Oh, really?
Hey, General, sir." It was very funny. It was very crazy. So
that'd be cool shit. And I want to say we appreciate you, and I'm sure the other guys will echo it as well. If Carol can find the studio door,
he won't be able to find it.
No, not at all. He's probably out there sucking on Kiefer's tongue.
Yeah, thinking it's mine.
Could be practicing. He wants to make it right.
How did you guys get hooked up in the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast? What was the story behind that?
Keith and I were drinking at a bar repeatedly and like solving the world's problems, bullshitting, arguing, and cracking jokes, and said, "Fuck it, let's put a mic in." We did it for no other reason, like Dex did, just something to do.
Right.
And
now you guys are like live in front of an entire audience at a bar.
We've had some good guests.
Like you've had some great guests.
They're not there to see us.
No.
Yeah.
But it's very funny. You guys put on a hell of a show there, and you've got like it's like a Cheers. It's like a podcast for like Cheers, right? You got like your whole bar family. You got all these people at the bar, and then they get to see a live podcast once a week or whatever it is.
When you guys came up for Scheller, that was awesome.
That was great. Yeah, Lieutenant Colonel Scheller,
cool.
super funny.
Marty Brenneman, the Hall of Famer for the Cincinnati Reds, he backed that place. We've had a lot of good guests. Salma Wilcots.
Yeah, Ian Pitts, Dexter Pitts. You guys
Dex coming up. Yeah, there was a shooting in Anderson when Dex was there. It was awesome.
Well, we appreciate you guys being here. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of debauchery, a lot of stories to talk about. And thank you so much for making the long haul trip, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate what you do for the handicapped people, and I want to make a donation on behalf of One More and I'm Out of Here.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Kids.
Oh, dude, this is for all the handicapped guys. Yeah. I'm going to put this to another mullet haircut, actually. Hamity just said the Terrorist Whisperer just walked in the door. The Terrorist Whisperer. If you guys haven't heard the Terrorist Whisperer on all sorts of other podcasts, including his own, you can hear him on the Drinking Bros podcast. Probably one of my favorite interviews with you, to be honest with you, just because it was super real and down to earth. And then you were on some Pakistani dudes podcast one time.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's name, but that was,
I mean,
what was that guy's name?
Pakistani dude?
Was he Pakistani or
no? He's Iranian.
Iranian.
Yeah,
that was a big show.
Yeah,
Valuetainment. Yeah,
he's Iranian American.
That was cool. You guys literally were fixing the world's problems.
Yeah,
on that show.
I mean, it's kind of what happens when you have two guys, one from Iran, one from Iraq, that are both have been through similar experiences. So yeah, it's a big show. He's one of the biggest YouTubers literally in the United States, and great show. Yeah, he's very informed, great podcaster as well.
You've got a show called the Black Site Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
big on TikTok right now too. You guys are crushing it on TikTok. The show is very interesting. It's bringing kind of that counterintelligence, intelligence world, spook, spy.
You could say it's like a war storytelling.
Yeah,
it's a war stories.
War stories.
I mean, we're trying to basically through this to talk about traumas, so that way, veterans and people who have served not to keep these traumas inside.
Yeah.
As you know, I have a friend that I lost recently, so
sure.
It's unfortunately that we're trying to basically bring this awareness to other vets who are struggling, that they're not the only ones dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
And by sharing our traumas, I myself personally never shared all my traumas from the war.
Right.
I went to a therapist recently, my first time in my life going to a therapist. I never told anybody about some of the things that went down. So the show is really out there just to help others to make sure that the veterans and the people that have been traumatized could understand they're not the only ones.
Yeah. It's a fascinating podcast. Your whole story, your book, all the things. Where can people find your book, by the way?
the terrorist whisper.
Yep.
Just Google the terrorist whisper. I should come up.
Yeah. You'll come up pretty quick.
You'll see my fat version, my skinny version, and my muscular version.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
And yeah, I highly recommend grabbing the book or watching
Yeah.
the Amazon, the documentary on Amazon titled The Terrorist Whisper, which is all really cool things. And then, of course, the Black Site Show. And that's SITE, right?
SITE, yeah, the Black Site
Show, which is a great
Yes, sir.
podcast. And you can follow them on TikTok and Instagram.
We just had recently Kyle Carpenter, actually, the youngest Marine Medal of Honor.
Right.
He was on the podcast as well. We haven't released that. That was
You had like Zelensky's like right-hand guy on there at some point.
Oh.
Didn't you have like Zelensky's?
Oh no, I had actually Zelensky's Secretary of Economy.
Yeah.
Through the Ukraine war.
Right.
I mean, you know how things are. I mean, I like to kind of talk to people versus
Sure.
really listening to the news or anywhere
Right,
else.
right.
And usually talking to people, you really find out firsthand things, you know.
Yeah.
As you know, many people have different opinions about the Iraq war.
Sure.
But my opinion is always going to be different because I have lived it. I have witnessed every single second of it for the whole
Right.
5-year war. So, you know, for me, it's like I'm not interested in the politics when I come to my podcast. I
Right.
like to cover war stories and
Sure.
things. But when it comes to things like that, it's pretty sensitive. I like to talk to people who are on the ground
Yeah.
to really see what's happening. What are they dealing with? Because I've been in that position before.
Right. Because like, and from your stance, like,
Yeah.
and not to like take over the whole show with this, but like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of us are like probably not for the Iraq war,
Yeah.
knowing what we know now, but you will always have been for the Iraq war
Yeah.
because it freed a lot of your people. It got rid
Indeed.
of Saddam Hussein. Like
Yeah.
you, and I've heard you talk about changing. That's why it's hard for me
Yeah.
that although I know like as a nation, it sucks. And I think that
Yeah.
Bush was a bad person. And I don't think that what he did was right. But at the same time, I'm
Yeah.
happy we did it because we were able, you know, because America
Yeah.
was able to physically help
Yeah.
human
mean,
beings like you and I hear your stories and how thankful and grateful you are for
Indeed,
Americans. And-
Indeed. I mean, there are things that are, you know, might be bad for you, but then might be good for others. You know,
Right.
yes. I mean,
so you're
absolutely.
super thankful for the Iraq
Oh,
war
hell
because
yeah.
yeah,
100,
right, you know.
110. I mean, if you're look, if people wouldn't understand it, right? Because people have not lived under Saddam Hussein.
Right.
So when I hear people say, "Hey, I'd rather have Saddam Hussein," we should have left him alone, right? If you were living under Saddam Hussein, you would absolutely not say that
Right.
because, you know, I look. Imagine I went from Saddam prisons in age 12 to, literally 5 years later, I'm sitting in his own chair, in his own palace
Did
chair.
you fart in that chair?
No, I wish I could. But you have to know for Americans who are born and raised here, have their freedom. They lived a beautiful life. They had cereal every morning.
Yeah.
They're not going to look at it from your perspective.
Right.
That for me, I was in his prisons as a child prisoner. And then I go to get an opportunity because of that war.
Right.
I got an opportunity to have an equal gun battle against my enemies who I couldn't look in the face.
Right.
I couldn't talk to.
Yeah.
To me, it's always going to be different. And to me, that was whether that decision was a mistake or not. To
Yeah.
me, that decision put me on a balanced battle against my enemies who were there for 35 years prior to me. And no one could ever look them in the face. They were that ignorant, that much of a dictatorship and tyranny. And all of a sudden you find yourself with a gun and 9 magazines, and they have a gun and few magazines, and it is up to you to let them control your life
Or not.
And it's really different. But if you put Americans in that position today,
Yeah.
imagine that feeling,
Right.
right? So it's not a presidential, it's not a politics. The Iraq war probably happened for a reason. And look at Iraq now. What are they doing now with infrastructure? The younger generation being so free and open and talking about their issues. If it wasn't for the American soldier, that generation wouldn't exist today.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you think? Last question before I get you out of here. How do you see America going forward right now? I mean, you think we're on the right path, or do you think we're headed for something deeper and darker?
I mean, look, it's pretty hard to say, right? Like if we're going dark or if we're going towards better. The truth is, we need to be educated a little more to know where we're going. We think that politicians are taking us to where we're going, but that's false. I think we're in control still in what we're going, and educating yourself outside of the mainstream media is the best thing you can do yourself as an American, because if you find yourself very far in each side of the line, you'll find yourself to be really misinformed.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have a balance if we want to continue to be a great country, strong country. We can have our differences, but we always have to watch off our enemies who are really big dogs and are waiting for us to get weak so they can take over. I mean,
you think we're at World War III by 2025? Like a lot of people are predicting.
It's just scary because the enemies who used to not like each other right now in the Middle East are forming an alliance, which scares me. I don't want to be back at war. I know what war is, and I don't want your children or mine to go to war. So the scary part is that right now, America is pretty much sitting on a chair and not looking around at what's happening behind its back. And unfortunately, because of the political bitterness we have, we're so busy looking at everything else and not looking what's happening around the world. You know, you got Iran and China who are now trying to form an alliance with Saudi Arabia, who is one of our biggest oil supporters basically now because we decided to depend on them. You have to be very careful and keep that rug under your leg strong, because if your enemies pull that rug from under you, unfortunately, you're not going to have any other options other than going to war to get your interests back, the American interests first, right? So I do believe if the American government, Democrat or Republican, need to figure out a way that when it comes to the American interest, that is a very important asset we need to protect no matter what. No matter what we think, because our allies are really good at what they do. And for Saudi Arabia and Iran to come into an agreement, you have to understand this is historical. This has not happened through history. And now these guys are forming an alliance and we're just sitting here doing nothing. We need to be careful of that. Very careful, because that's not just Iran and Saudi Arabia. That is Iran, Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, all coming together. But you have to understand, 5 guys can make really 5 tough guys if they come together. And I think that America needs to understand now we might need the right person for the right job next in order for us to really know how to deal with this. Because this is a political game. This is foreign affairs. This is bigger than any average American citizen. And you need to be putting that American interest. The American interest should be a sacred interest.
Right.
Before any politicians. And before anybody what they think it's best. And put that American interest first. But I hope that we don't end up losing all our interest and everybody else is going to team up against the United States, economy wise, interest wise, every oil wise,
starting to look
sales wise, and just be that.
Did you see the Dalai Lama and the tongue sucking thing? No. The Dalai Lama had a child suck his tongue. He released an apology yesterday.
Jesus Christ.
Let me show you a picture of it really quick. That's what the show was titled today, was tongue sucking Dalai Lamas.
Jesus.
Look at this.
That is, I should have died in Iraq.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Damn.
That's sick.
Yeah, that makes the crazy bastard in my own birth country looks too good, actually.
I think it actually made like Biden look a little bit good. I mean, we thought it was crazy with the hair sniffing thing, but this motherfucker's getting kids to suck on his tongue on national television. He issued an apology though.
He did.
He said that, but here's what his apology was really fast, and she didn't get to hear it. But
what did he say?
He says, the Dalai Lama has apologized for kissing a young boy on the lips and asking him to suck my tongue, quote, after a video of the incident sparked outrage on social media. The 87-year-old Buddhist priest regrets the incident and wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words have caused.
Wow.
I don't think his words caused any hurt.
I mean, look, I live in Iraq. I have seen worse crap than that, to be honest with you. We have some like Muslim imams that had believed that if they spit on somebody, it will heal them from illness or something. And I've watched actually a guy was in a mosque and it had like 300 people all over with little cups in their hands, waiting for him to spit in that cup. And I saw that, right? And I literally, when I say the Iraq war, it was absolutely a good thing happened. Because we went from that generation who was thinking this way to a generation that says, get out of here. You're nothing special. I don't need you to spit on me. If you spit on me, I'm going to put my foot up your ass. And that's truly where
This video
Iraq
is so creepy because it starts out with like a Tibetan head thing, which is
I
normal,
know.
right? That's fine. Then he asks the kid for a kiss on the cheek, and the kid's like, sure.
Damn.
And then he goes, suck on my tongue. And the kid's like,
Damn.
what the fuck?
I think that kid is going to have a bright future, and he's going to be like the Eric Tansey of that country.
Dude, I'd be, oh yeah, bro.
He's going to podcast about this crap for the rest of his life.
Well, hey, Anthony, we appreciate you. Going to be at the meetup tonight?
I will try my best as I'm busy with my business, and I think I'll be my best to be there.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of fans that'll be wanting to see you tonight.
Absolutely.
And
my
I'm
best.
sure. Bring some books. If you got some books, bring some books. They'll buy some books, dude. I mean,
All right,
obviously,
buddy.
they're raining
Thank you so
fucking
much for
cash.
having me.
Let's see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I got one more guest over here. We got Dan from One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. Come on in, Dan.
Great.
Dan, the punching bag.
Great. Thanks
They've been
a lot.
picking on him a lot.
Thanks a lot, man. You know.
I'll say this though. I'll say this.
You make me follow the guy that's been in an Iraqi prison, who's seen combat, sat in Saddam Hussein's chair, and what do I got? I got a story about running out of gas on my motorcycle. Thanks a lot, brother. You know,
But
I
you know
always got to follow the tough guys.
You've got the best radio voice in the business.
Now that's because I'm in radio.
You are. And what radio station are you allowed to tell us?
700 WLW. It's
That's in Cincinnati.
Big AM 50,000 watt flamethrower.
Okay.
Dominant station, has been for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to that station.
Yeah.
And the fact that I get to work there now and do talk shows on that radio station. Now, you've heard of Bill Cunningham, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Bill Cunningham. So I actually talked to him earlier today, and he has a national show on Sunday nights that goes out all across the iHeartMedia network. And I'm doing his show on Sunday night in a couple of weeks from now.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
So
dude.
it's going to be my first national show. So that's, other than, being on the Failure
Failure
to
to
Stop.
Stop, yeah.
And then the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. And by the way,
Yeah.
Kiefer was here yesterday with, he's going to be on in a little bit.
Right.
I don't know why he didn't do this when he opened his beer.
Right.
But,
He did.
one more and I'm out of here.
Yeah, you do it. He did it in the mic a few times.
Did you hold it up to the mic?
He
Okay,
did.
I missed that
He
part. He's
did.
flipping me off right now. Sorry.
He did. But your boy Rob, he was drinking Bud Light, and I think he's like wearing a bra, maybe underneath his shirt.
Oh, herking?
So
Yeah.
now I'm kind of
Well,
like nervous that.
And
whole
by
Bud Light
the
thing's
way, you'll
coming
notice
true.
I'm not drinking a Bud Light.
Yeah, what is that?
It's
Is that Sprite?
a Frosty Coors Light.
A Frosty Coors Light.
Sprite, same thing. And-
You really did run out of gas on the motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not have like a
Was
gas
com-
gauge on that motherfucker?
No, I was coming across the state line from West Virginia into Virginia.
Yeah.
And you go through that big tunnel right there.
Yeah.
And so
You run out of gas in the tunnel?
right on the other side of the tunnel, the
Oh my-
gas light came on, and
Okay.
the exit I wanted to go to was 4 miles away. And I'm thinking I can make it 4 miles. Well, I couldn't.
So the gas
So-
light only gives you.
It gave me
a
very
mile?
it gave me very little.
And
So
you don't have a reserve tank?
I actually was able to pull off, got into a rest area, and I didn't jump up in anyone's cab like Rob suggested.
Oh, okay.
And that's and
You
that's why
hitchhiked.
I can't ride with the guy. The guy's gonna see. I mean, he always goes to the homosexual stuff, right? I mean,
Yes.
right away.
Right.
And okay,
And
a
you're
little-
old school,
A
probably.
little bit of that is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
But you
look,
draw the line at like jerking you off.
I don't want to ride in a car with a guy like that. I don't want
Right.
to stay in a hotel.
Sure.
The fact that I stayed in a completely different hotel is like a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, you're not regretting it at all.
Even though it's a little inconvenient,
Yeah.
it's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, it's safe, right? It's safe.
But listen to what that guy, the terrorist whisperer, is that what you call him? Terrorist whisperer.
Terrorist whisperer.
I mean, listen to what he was saying when he was on his way. He talks about international news, international stories, and
Right.
why they're important. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that the fact that there's so many people out there who don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, right? They want to, they want to know all the pop. I mean, and all the pop culture stuff and all that. That stuff's good to talk about and know about. But important stories like that and the way the country is going, you listen to a perspective that guy has from not being from here, and he's lived it. He's seen all the terrible things that can happen, and he's telling us straight out that is the way we are. That is the way we are headed if we don't start doing something different. And this guy, like Joe Biden right now, I mean, he is completely going the wrong way on every single item, especially when it comes to foreign policy.
Yeah. I don't know that he can be doing too much, though. He just doesn't seem like he's.
He doesn't have a lot on the ball.
I don't think, it seems like he always has a handler. I was close to somebody who died of Alzheimer's, and you could tell who the handler is, right? Like the person standing next to him, just making sure that they don't say like "fuck, shit, cock, balls," have their moment. And at all times, Biden, whenever he speaks, he's got that person right there next to him.
Just imagine if he had Tourette's on top of what all the other stuff he's got going on. That'd be talk about a shit show.
You think you'd ever have? You ever think you'd have a little child suck on his tongue?
God, that is just so. I mean, it's not.
Could you imagine being so powerful that you could just tell a child to suck your tongue?
All I can think of is this is not Bill Murray's Dahli Lama, right?
No.
Caddyshack. Bill Murray's caddying for the Llama.
Right.
Lama's he's a big hitter.
Yeah.
So we get done and he's going to stiff me. I said, "Hey, Lama, how about a little something for the effort?" Not the same Dalai Lama.
Could you imagine being so powerful that you could just tell a child to suck your tongue? I want that power.
That's creepy, man. It's
I don't know if
weird.
I'd
And I
use
guess there's some people out there who think it's just fine, but for God's
It's
sake,
crazy that they think it's fine.
and that's the whole. Like we were talking about Bud Light earlier, and then the brand manager did an interview on some other podcast. I don't know what podcast it was, but she said something. She was talking about Bud Light, the drinkership, and people who are drinking Bud Light is going downhill. She didn't like the fratty atmosphere and like the funny commercials that they used to do for Bud Light.
Right.
Like back in the day, Charlton Heston did commercials for Bud Light, funny as hell.
Right.
And the Bud Light commercials have just been great commercials. And she says, well, we want to appeal to women too. So how do you appeal to women? Well, you get some dude who's pretending to be a woman
and not even doing a good job.
Why not get a real woman?
Right.
So, you want to appeal to women, fine.
But now that Bud Light can, in sort of somewhat of defense, that was only made for that individual.
For Dylan Mulvaney, yeah.
Right. It's not like they put it in like cans like worldwide. And let's face it, they've put Cincinnati Bengals logo on the same Bud Light cans,
Sure.
which is
They've been doing that for
arguably
years.
even more gay than Dylan Mulvaney.
Depends on how you feel about your NFL teams, but for God's sake, if all you're going to do is if you want to appeal to the LGBTQ crowd or the transgender crowd,
right,
that is literally such a small cross section of American people.
I mean, are they big spenders or something? Like, why is
if you think your
everybody trying to get in
drinkership is
there?
declining now, wait till you appeal just to that audience and then see what you're
They must like transgender people must be fucking loaded with money because everybody's trying to advertise to them right now. Give me that money. I didn't know that transgender people were that rich.
Well, it costs a lot of money.
I guess,
that's why it and I hate to keep talking about it all the time, but that's
all you can think about.
The main issue.
All you can think about is transgender.
That's in the news all the time.
No, it is. It's everywhere you go though. Like honestly,
but $40 grand
you can't
for
find
the
a TV
surgeries.
series right now that doesn't have this on
Yeah,
it. You can't
40
find
grand for the surgeries,
and
and then and look, if you want to change your sex, if you want to say you're a man who wants to be a woman, do it. Knock yourself out.
Right.
The only thing I say is just leave the kids out of it.
Right.
Why can't you just
It is
leave?
very odd to me that we do spend a lot of time bringing kids into this conversation. It's a very adult conversation.
Well, that's it.
The kids should be more concerned about, Ninja Turtles or what Power Ranger that they identify as.
But I think there's a certain segment of parents out there or legal guardians who get their kicks out of virtue signaling. Hey, look, I've got a trans kid.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more. It's partly that, but I think it's more that you've got parents who have mental illnesses.
Well, yeah,
It's
mental
mentally ill
illnesses.
parents trying to live vicariously through their child and put their mental illness onto their child, and a child's going to do whatever they. If I convince my 10-year-old right now that he's a girl, even though he is the manliest of little boys, rugby player, skateboarder, whatever. If I really start hounding on my kid and I sit him down and I convince him that he's a girl, he'll fucking listen to me.
At some point, he's going to believe you.
He'll listen to me because I'm his world. I'm everything to him. So I think it's these mentally ill parents who have their own fucking mixed up mental health things, and then they're putting it onto their children.
And if you look at the percentage of kids
manipulating
who are
them.
claiming that they're trans right now, it is way out of proportion.
Way out of
But there was a time when, for some people, a status symbol was having a Mercedes in the driveway. That's status symbol.
Right.
Now it's having a trans kid.
Oh yeah.
It's just been replaced with something different.
Yeah. And then remember back in like not the revolutionary days, but the guys who kind of went through that like little cross-dressing phase back in the day. Remember they used to wear makeup and put the little.
Yeah, well, cross-dressing is one thing. Cross-dressing is one thing, but and
You know,
look,
and that's
I
what I
don't
say
care
too.
about any
That's
of that
what I say
stuff.
that- well,
I'm
that's
just
what I say
saying,
is
when
like-
it comes to the kids, leave the kids out
Right.
of it.
Why, strippers, we keep the strippers in the strip club. Let's keep the what do you call the transgender dancers? Drag queens.
Yeah, the drag
Why
queens.
don't we keep the drag queens in the drag queen bars? Like, why are we putting the drag queen? Well, you wouldn't put a stripper in a library reading to children. Why would we put a drag queen in a library reading books to children? It makes no sense.
Well, and that's the thing that you've got. Tennessee just passed a law. Kentucky has one now where they're cracking down on drag shows. And have you seen the videos?
Yeah.
Where you've
I've
got
been to a
kids who
drag
are
show.
6, 7, 8 years old.
I've dressed in drag to a drag show.
Stuffing dollar bills in the. When
Not
you
a
got
place for
little
children.
kids like that,
Right.
stuffing dollar bills into the G-string
It's
of a
terrible.
grown-ass man.
It's terrible.
Who's
I don't even
swinging
like
his
it.
junk right in front of their
Yeah.
face. Tell
It's
me what's
gross.
right and wholesome
Right.
and uplifting about that.
I don't even like
absolutely.
I don't
nothing.
even like that Hooters is, you're allowed to go to Hooters before you're 18. You know
I
what I mean?
But the
like,
Hooters girls don't come and swing their titties
They
right in
don't,
front of
they
a little
don't.
kid's
They-
face.
they
I mean,
don't,
For God's
but-
sake.
But yeah, it's weird times that we're living in, man. It's weird times, and it's odd. It's odd that anybody would want to bring that, and then why anybody is fighting for that right. It's very, very odd. I feel like there's a lot of other mountains to die on right now, and one of them, probably the last of those mountains, would be having weirdos dance in front of children. Doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, there's some
At
people
all.
who think that's the most important thing.
I know. That's
Because
sad.
trans kids, look, we have casinos in Cincinnati. You got to be 21 years old to walk into a casino, not to just play. You can't even step foot inside a casino unless you're 21 years old.
Right.
Because you might lose money in a slot machine,
Yeah.
or you might lose money if you double down on a blackjack or on the roulette wheel or something. But when it comes to being 7 or 8 or 10 years old, and you say, "Well, I want to have surgery to cut my junk off," well, that's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
So we're supposed to act as if kids making those kind of decisions is
Right.
is yeah.
I think we just took celebrating mental health or mental mental health the wrong way. Like, yeah,
Well, thanks for having us.
his
in,
mental
man.
health is bad,
It's
so
been
we're gonna
big
celebrate.
fun.
No,
Your-
it's
your
been great,
holiness.
man. We love the One More
And
Night on your podcast.
I'm
guys.
not worthy to suck your tongue, so maybe Jason.
Yeah,
will be.
kiss the ring of your holiness. I'm just kidding.
Thanks a lot, man. It's been fun.
You ran out of gas on your motorcycle. You're not sucking my tongue.
One more and I'm out of here, baby. Thanks,
Yeah,
and
thank you,
thanks
guys.
for plugging the podcast and everything.
Oh, dude,
you've
we
done.
love
It's
you
been
guys.
great.
We love you guys all the time.
We'll talk to you
All
later.
right, one more. We got one more guy.
I
in
can't
here.
wait to see the distillery today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be over there shortly, as soon as this show's over. Will Cray in the chat says, "Can I get the government to pay for my penis enlargement surgery?" Dude, if that thing gets any bigger, you already have a fucking cane, dude. How are you gonna carry around a hog like that? Andrea says, "TGR, you didn't leave a tip." We'll see Andrea here pretty soon. Hopefully, she's driving, and fucking around on her phone right now.
Might have been just a tip.
Probably just the tip.
Just a tip.
Jay Kiefer, you're from the One More and I'm out here as well. You brought on a hell of a show last night. True Crime Tuesday last night. Super funny. One of the best reels we've ever made is now posted on our Instagram. Thanks to you guys.
That is hilarious.
The true crime shit was fun, and I appreciate you guys coming down here and hanging out with us. Now you're a firefighter,
Here it comes.
What's it like? What's it like always being second or like even third best?
Well,
first responder word.
If you ask,
do you consider yourself a second responder?
I guess I would take it. I'd take second responder. It's fine because you guys want to come into the firehouse, use our shitter, eat our food, and we're okay.
Somebody's
with
got
that.
to support the fucking.
We're okay
workers.
with that because we usually get better pay raises than you do. So I mean,
Do you?
it all makes sense.
In what state, in what city does a firefighter make more money than a cop?
Most of them.
No,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
outta
Or at least
here.
up where we're from.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Not a chance here.
Now, granted, all of us get paid shit, but
Yeah,
I think
our firefighters
our
bitch and
hours
complain
our
'cause they
hours
don't
are
make
better.
as much.
I work.
You do get better
I work
hours.
120 days a year, and that's if I don't have a Kelly day. I'm working
What's
9.
a Kelly day?
You get assigned a day of the week. So every 3 weeks, we do 1 on, 2 off, 24/48. So like my day's Wednesday. So whenever I work a Sunday, my next day would be Wednesday. Well, I don't go into work, so I get 5 days off in a row every 3 weeks.
Right.
So
Okay.
you take that out of working a third of the year, that cuts it down even more. Still getting paid decently, and I mean most places have the same retirements, so we're still going out at the same time. But
I've got a question for firefighters. It's not very often I get to just have like a real conversation with firefighters.
It's hard to tell what's real with you and what's not. So,
do you guys get horny when you're fucking with those hoses?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So much phallic.
It's it's stiff in your hand.
Yeah. Sleeping with all those guys all the time. You guys ever you ever thought about being gay?
No. That's never crossed my mind. No, I do know I do know a guy that actually retired and went into gay porn. He was a fireman.
I know a Navy SEAL that went into gay porn after he got shot in the arm in Afghanistan.
But as Dan said, more power to you. You do you, man.
Yeah,
but don't do me because I'm out.
Don't do me. Firefighters, are they pretty gay?
There's a lot of them that are.
A lot of gay firefighters.
Like just complete.
Really? Just full flaming firefighter gay.
No, I only know that one guy.
You only know one guy?
I only know the one guy.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I know two.
Yeah, I every firefighter I've ever met's gay.
Well,
every single one of them.
the primrose glasses that you're wearing, that you're looking, I see it portrays it.
I'm not trying to be biased or anything.
Not at all.
Why are you gay?
And I would expect nothing less out of this meetup and hanging out with you on this podcast to not get shit.
How often do firefighters look at cops and just go, "Fuck, I wish I was that"?
Never.
Really?
No, we're always like, "Oh, glad we took the right test."
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
See, the funny thing is like in some of your podcasts and cops and firemen, bust chops all the time, but when we have to wait for the scene to be secure. Yeah, I mean, because they don't allow us to carry guns. The difference is you guys don't know what you're doing in the fire world. You want to be the hero, grab your extinguisher out of the trunk and go in, and then we're pulling your dumbasses out because
when's that ever happened? Besides 9/11?
It happens all the time.
Who was pulling who out on 9/11?
Nobody.
Damn.
It's factual. We all lost a lot of people.
It's true. Firefighters lost more though.
343.
Wow. See there?
Right there. Boom.
Should have been a cop. Should have been a cop.
In that instance, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
That instance.
that one instance.
That instance.
I've never heard of a cop being rescued by a firefighter.
Oh my God. I will send you article after article after article as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah, but
I promise you.
It's probably Russian
propaganda. It's fake news.
Russian.
It's the CNN fake news, as Donald Trump says.
That's all Russian fake news. Real quick, what's your favorite show on the Fair Stop channel?
I'm a huge fan of Last Call.
Is everybody just saying that
no,
right now?
And here's why.
Just saying that.
But I'm a little bit of a fence rider, but Last Call, because it reminds me a lot of ours.
Okay.
We do the pop culture stuff. Now, you guys have different formats, which I think fits perfect with your brand. For us, I mean, we're talking about what's hot, what we're finding. So I can relate a lot to it. Huge fan of Com Center, though.
Yeah.
With Jonathan's dry, angry personality.
Yes.
It just sparkles on the screen.
So funny. It's so funny. He's doing such a great job, and we really appreciate it. I don't know why he's not hanging out with us as much tonight.
He's antisocial. I told him that in a text message yesterday.
I guess.
A little bit upset.
Yeah.
And he was salty yesterday too.
Oh, well,
per the usual.
I can't, I can take you to the water. Can't force you to drink.
But I think you guys have put a great program together with that, with having the call-in ability, and it's very crowd interactive. I think it was a great addition.
Those guys work really, really, really hard, and but it's paying off big because the channel is growing. I think we're up like 16% just even in the last 2 weeks, which is really cool.
Night shift would be a favorite if Andrea's internet was a little bit better, but
yeah, right. But I hopefully the world knows now. Like now that you guys came down here, you got to see it for yourself. You got to see what I deal with on a daily basis.
Can I say one real quick story? I know we got to get out of here.
You want to? We don't have to go anywhere.
So you called Dan the punching bag, and he kind of is.
Sure.
Dan is one of the smartest, intelligent, dumb guys that I know, and he's one of my very best friends. Yeah. Very intelligent, common sense.
That's the way Dwight Schrute is on The Office.
Common sense just kind of surpasses. But a couple of days before we came down here, we went to a Cincinnati Roller Girls derby.
I love roller derby.
Oh, it was I'd never been. So much fun.
Super cool.
What Dan didn't know, and I didn't know until the day of, but we didn't tell Dan, was that it was Pride Night at the roller derby.
It was what?
Pride Night.
I thought every night's Pride Night at the roller derby. I think you have to be gay to roller derby.
This was a special night that they were advertising, and I didn't see any of it. Dan didn't see any of it. So Dan walked really into this completely blind, and he's accepting of everybody. But he walked in, he goes, "What in the actual fuck is happening right now?"
I got a gay friend. She's married, and she's not even as gay as gay roller derby girls.
I posted some good reels and some pictures, and it was one of the most fun nights I've had.
Yeah.
But just watching the reaction.
It's so fun. And here's the thing. I've always said this, and I think a lot of people probably agree with me. Gay, straight, bi, or confused. Is that roller, that shit, that's where it belongs, right? And we can accept that. We can have fun, right? Like we know that that's what you're getting into when you go to roller derby night. Now, I don't want that kind of behavior at the skate park
Exactly.
every single day. Because it's like, I don't want kids coming in here to this fucking meetup because it's not appropriate, dude.
Right.
We're going to be drinking a lot of beer tonight. I'm going to be up on stage doing some pretty horrendous comedy, saying some really fucked up things, embarrassing myself and my family name. There doesn't need to be children around that stuff.
Yeah. There's a time and a place.
There's a fucking time and a place, man.
And like Dan said, you can do whatever you want. That's all well and good, but put it in the right place.
Yeah.
Well,
hey man, we appreciate you guys being out here tonight. I'm gonna gonna wrap this thing up with Dead Leg here, and then we're gonna go out there and party because we got to be at the distillery in a couple hours, and I haven't had a single beverage. My children just showed up. Hey, why don't you go grab my son? I'm gonna bring my son on and celebrate. Just grab Duke. We'll celebrate with him really quickly.
He's way more important than I am.
But are you ready for tonight? You gonna have a couple of beers?
Yeah,
Are you allowed?
I got my drugs in there. Oh yeah, that'll really fuck me up.
Yeah, just double down on it.
Oh yeah, like I think about alcohol. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I had a drink.
Really?
I just with all the meds that I had to take already, it'll really screw you up. So
okay.
And then before that, I just wasn't a big drinker.
Well, I mean, just don't even drink. Just get jacked up on your own meds, dude.
A good old Long Island will just take me a long way.
There you go. All right, here's my son. I'm going to bring my son on here really fast. Since we're having a podcast-a-palooza, and he has his own podcast called Grommet Vomit Podcast. Dude, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. I just got back from over there on the couch watching you do your podcast.
Oh, dude, really?
Yeah,
Probably
taking notes, seeing what I can do for my podcast.
Oh, snap, dude. Dude, that's
yeah.
killer. That's killer, man. You guys, you've got some pretty cool guests on your podcast, right?
Yeah, we got Ryan Sheckler. We got a bunch of people, and it's just kind of hard to keep track of all of them.
Yeah.
We had Ryan Clements.
Yep. Wyatt Hammond.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wyatt Hammond.
Rob Machado.
You
guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
And
thanks.
you got a big contest coming up. You got the Myrtle Beach Am. And this will be your first contest riding for. Who do you ride for now?
DeVille Skateboards.
DeVille Skate Shop. Yep. Pretty stoked. You stoked on the contest?
Oh, very.
Yeah. What are you most excited about?
Okay. There's two things I'm most excited about. I'm excited about just being there with my friends and having a good time. But there's something also I kind of want to try. It's this thing called Lemons and Dough.
What is a lemon? What is that?
Lemons and Dough. It's like a food truck.
Oh my God. Okay. So you're all up on this food truck.
Yeah, mostly about the competition, but I kind of want to try this food truck.
Dude, you are such a little savage. Like biggest contest of your life, and you're stoked on the food truck that I didn't even. How did you even know that there's going to be a food truck there called Lemons and?
They're sponsoring the Myrtle Beach Am.
No way. All right. Well, I mean, things you learned from your child. Cool. What's what you got? You got any big plans for your podcast?
Not really. Just trying to work hard and get it bigger.
Yeah. How can people go and follow you?
They can go on Instagram, YouTube. They can go on YouTube. They can go to Tansy Fam and
No, you got Grommet Vomit on YouTube now.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I got Grommet Vomit on YouTube and I got Grommet Vomit on Instagram. I don't think we have TikTok now.
No, we don't have a TikTok. We have Facebook. You got a
We have
Facebook,
Facebook,
and you got a
yeah.
website. You got grommetvomit.com.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Hey, dude, thanks for coming and hanging out on my podcast, man. You're doing a great job. You're killing it. Love you. Go say hi to your brothers. Do your thing, man. Appreciate you coming on my show.
Thanks.
Oh man, well, it's a magical day today, man. We're all having a good time. But it's that lunchtime. Probably should go pick up some pizzas. Man, I appreciate all you guys that are out there watching the live show. Thank you guys so much. And we're gonna party for the rest of the night. And if you're around the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and you could get here in the next 4 hours, Get your asses on down here. Come on and see us, guys. Until next time, this is Dead Leg Media and Eric Tanzi from the Failure to Stop podcast Last Call Show. Until next time, guns up and giddy up.